There can be no middle way in dealing with transgenderism. It is all or nothing. If transgenderism is true, if men really can become women, then it's true for everybody of all ages. If transgenderism is false, as it is, if men really can't become women, as they cannot, then it's false for everybody too. And if it's false, then we should not indulge it, especially since that indulgence requires taking away the rights and customs of so many people. If it is false, then for the good of society, and especially for the good of the poor people who have fallen prey to this confusion,
crocodile tears,
transgenderism must be eradicated from public life entirely. The whole preposterous ideology at every level.
Whenever somebody come up with the word eradicating, people should start paying attention, because eradicating anything doesn't sound good. And the whole idea of him eradicating transgenderism is so concerning, because how do you intend to do that? That's the question everyone should be asking themselves. Are you going to just pretend that trans people don't exist and hopefully everything's just kind of go away? Or are you going to put a rule or a law in place that prohibit people from saying anything about trans? Are you going to do that? Or are you going to say, well, trans people are not real people, so we do not want to spend our time talking about them? You know, how do you plan to do that? Or are you just trying to motivate your base, to give your base something to talk about? You know, when you go out and say stuff like this, especially someone as influential as Knowles, he should understand that many people will listen to what he has said, and some of them might put what he has said to action. And what they might do might not be good. Some people might take things to the very, very extreme. So when he made this statement, a lot of people came back and attacked him. They hit back at him. They said that what he was doing was wrong. What he said was wrong. And he should be ashamed of himself. So he came back and tried to water down the tension by saying that he did not mean eradicating trans people. He meant eradicating transgenderism. I don't know if there is so much of a difference between those two things, but let's listen to what he had to say.
So the question then becomes, the more honest liberals have said, okay, well, what does it mean then to eradicate transgenderism from public life? And it's a good question. I'm glad people are talking about that. That was the point of my speech. What would it mean to eradicate the preposterous ideology of transgenderism from public life at every level? I'll tell you, but first I got to clear the air a little bit. When you want to clear the air, you got to check out Rabbit Air. Go check out Rabbit Air today. Put simply, eradicating transgenderism from public life would mean behaving as American society did before, say, 2015. Before around 2015.
This is so stupid.
We did not have any acceptance of transgenderism in public life.
We had more.
And it started to be introduced into public life around 2015 when Barack Obama instituted transgender military policies, and some liberals in North Carolina decided to invite men into the women's bathroom and pass all sorts of... Then later on we got the Bostock decision, The Bostock decision rewrote civil rights law to say that there was a protection for gender identity in there. Obviously, there is not one, but that came years later. So we're only talking about the last 7, 8 years or so. You can't deal with transgenderism only by saying we're not going to trans the kids. I think there are a lot of conservatives who say, okay, look, if transgender adults, if a man wants to identify as a woman, he's an adult, that's fine. Just don't do it to the kids. That's missing the point. I actually think this is what motivated these news outlets to lie about what I said. They obviously couldn't deal with the argument I was making. If they could, they would have done that.
This is the only real
They
argument
couldn't
ever
do
have.
that. So they had to lie. They had to rewrite what I said until I scared them at the prospect of libel laws, and then they had to change their headlines, even though there's still libelous content in the articles. Why? Because the left believed that it had already won the transgender issue, just like it wins every other social issue.
So his own take was that he did not say that he wants to or they should eradicate trans people. He meant eradicate the idea. And on many occasions, he has argued that trans people are not a particularly category of people. And so genocide does not really relate to them. I just think that when people go out there and say stuffs, especially powerful people, they should be very careful. Because actions began with words like this. And Michael might be saying all this just so to connect with his base. But there might be a lot of people in his base who are a little bit psycho. And they might listen to what he has said, and they might assume that he has given them the go-ahead to eradicate trans people. Or they might think that eradicating transgenderism also means that eradicating trans people, and they might go out there attacking trans people. So Michael Knowles should be very careful about what he says. It's really important that people understand what they say, and they understand that their words have consequences. But you guys out there, what do you think might have been the reason why Michael Knowles said what he said? And do you also think that eradicating transgenderism is something possible? Let us know in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. And also, please do not forget to like this video, share this video, follow our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to this YouTube channel, because little bit of good we, like the one you are doing just now, help us a lot, and we shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one.